Welcome to Rethink Your Perspectives blog, your trusted space for unlocking potential, empowering mindsets, building productive habits, and boosting motivation. Today, we're discovering why habits are essential for productivity, how they reduce decision fatigue, and how small daily routines support long-term success without burnout. Don't forget to jump on the website to join our mailing list for weekly updates and powerful tools to support your growth. We hope you get some benefit from these blog posts, and we would love to hear your thoughts. Don't hesitate to like, share, and comment at the links at the bottom. So why productivity feels so hard for so many people? Many people genuinely want to be more productive. They care about their work, their goals, and how they spend their time. Yet productivity often feels exhausting, inconsistent, or harder than it should be. This usually isn't because people lack motivation or discipline. In most cases, the issue runs deeper than effort. Productivity struggles tend to come from relying too heavily on decision-making and willpower. When every task requires conscious effort, negotiation, and motivation, progress quickly becomes draining. This is where habits make all the difference, and sometimes a little added bribery. Habits quietly shape what you do each day. When they support your goals, productivity feels steadier and calmer. When they don't, even the best intentions struggle to survive. So what productivity really is, and what it isn't. Productivity is often misunderstood as doing more, faster, or for longer. In reality, true productivity has far less to do with volume and far more to do with consistency. Productivity is not constant busyness, long to-do lists, or working harder or longer. Productivity is using your energy wisely, focusing on what matters, repeating helpful behaviours consistently. The most productive people are not those who push themselves endlessly. They are the ones whose daily habits quietly support progress without constant effort. So why habits are essential for productivity? Habits are essential for productivity because they reduce the need to think, decide, and motivate yourself over and over again. Every decision you make uses mental energy. When your day is full of choices, when to start, what to focus on, whether to follow through, that energy drains quickly. Habits solve this problem by turning decisions into defaults. When something becomes habitual, you no longer need to persuade yourself, you spend less energy starting, and you free up mental space for meaningful work. This is why habits are far more reliable than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Habits remain. How habits reduce decision fatigue. Decision fatigue occurs when your brain becomes tired from making too many choices. When this happens, productivity often drops, focus slips, and tasks feel heavier than they need to be. Habits reduce decision fatigue by removing unnecessary choices. For example, a consistent morning routine removes the need to decide how to start the day. A set time for focused work eliminates repeated procrastination. A simple end-of-day routine signals when work is finished. Each habit acts like a shortcut for your brain. Instead of asking, should I, or when will I, the behaviour simply happens. Over time, this creates calmer, more sustainable productivity. Why habits support consistency better than motivation? Motivation is often seen as the key to success, but it's unreliable. It changes based on sleep, stress, mood, and external circumstances. Habits, on the other hand, create consistency even when motivation is low. Consistency matters because progress is built through repetition, not intensity. Small actions repeated regularly have a far greater impact than occasional bursts of effort. Habits support consistency by creating structure, reducing reliance on willpower, making follow-through easier on difficult days. This is why habits are essential for long-term success. They allow progress to continue even when life feels busy or overwhelming. Why productivity feels easier when habits are in place. When habits support productivity, work stops feeling like a constant uphill struggle. Instead of forcing yourself to start tasks, stay focused, remember what matters, your routines begin to do that work for you. Productivity feels easier because less energy is spent starting, focus improves naturally, progress feels steadier. This doesn't mean productivity becomes effortless, it means it becomes manageable. Habits shift productivity from something you have to push into something you can support. Practical examples of productivity, supporting your habits. Habits do not need to be complicated or time-consuming to be effective. In fact, the simpler habits are often more powerful. Here are a few practical examples. A simple morning reset. Spending 5 minutes each morning identifying one key priority can prevent distraction and overwhelm later in the day. A focus cue. Starting focused work at the same time or in the same location helps your brain associate that cue with concentration. A clear end-of-day habit. Closing your day by reviewing what's done and planning tomorrow reduces mental load and supports better rest. Each of these habits removes friction rather than adding pressure. Why small habits matter more than big changes. One of the most common reasons habits fail is because they're too big. Large changes require more energy, motivation, and discipline than most people can sustain. Small habits work because they feel achievable, create less resistance, are easier to repeat. Consistency grows from success, not struggle. When habits are small enough to succeed regularly, confidence and momentum naturally follow. Over time, these small habits compound into meaningful change. Habits and long-term success. Long-term success rarely comes from dramatic effort. It comes from repeated behaviours that align with what you want to achieve. Habits can shape how you spend your time, how you manage your energy, and how you respond to challenges. This is why habits are so closely linked to long-term success. They quietly determine outcomes, often without you realising it. When habits support your goals, progress becomes sustainable rather than exhausting. How to start building productive habits without the overwhelm. If habits feel intimidating, the key is to start gently. Helpful principles include focusing on one habit at a time, make it smaller than you think necessary, attach it to something you already do, and adjust when life changes. Habits are not about perfection, they are about support. When habits work with your life instead of against it, productivity becomes something that you can maintain. So what do you think? Habits are essential for productivity because they remove friction, reduce decision fatigue, and support consistency over time. Productivity does not need to feel forced, stressful, or exhausting. When habits are designed to support you, progress becomes calmer and more reliable. A gentle question to reflect on this week: which daily habit is currently shaping your productivity? And is it helping or hindering you? Small supportive habits are often the starting point for lasting change. And if this has inspired you to rethink your own habits, explore my other posts in the Knowledge Centre, or to learn more about how I can help you apply these principles in your own life, you can message me here wherever you're listening to this, connect on social media, or book a free discovery call. To your continued success, Jaiye. Rethink your perspective.